Well, this one has got a lot of folks hot under the collar, really, because of the backlash from the promoters, the backlash. The promoter has pulled the plug, really. Yes, we're talking about Southern and Southern Molyneux, who are well known for their controversial views, you might say. They were meant to be performing, if you like, in Auckland next month, and this sparked a backlash from the Islamic community, who started a petition to get the government to step in and stop this event from happening. It appears Auckland Mayor Phil Goff agreed, tweeting this afternoon they were simply not welcome to use any council-owned facilities. And Auckland Mayor Phil Goff is with me. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening.
What was wrong with them using Auckland-owned facilities?
Well, look, they are coming from outside of the country to a city that's multicultural, that's inclusive, that's tolerant, and they want to spread a message that's insulting and abusive to people of particular faiths and particular ethnicities. And frankly, maybe they're free to do that, but equally we're free to say we're not going to give you a platform on which to spread messages which we believe will incite people to hatred, and that's the reason why they've been banned from the United Kingdom, and I presume the British government did that for good cause. I've read some of the stuff they've said that verges on being, making excuses for the Nazi Holocaust against the Jews, saying that people with dark skin have a lower IQ than people with white skin. That might be their views. I find it obnoxious. I think it's insulting to a lot of the people in our city.
You're right, some of the views they've expressed are indeed pretty off, but what mandate do you have to, I guess, ban somebody from using publicly funded buildings because of certain speech that you disagree with, no matter how off it may appear?
Well, we've got the right to determine who uses our facilities, and actually the Regional Facilities Auckland organisation believes that given the extremism of their views, that's likely to create security concerns at the venue that they were likely to hire. So they've made that decision, but I'm supporting it.
Security concerns from who?
Well, if you go out and you say that because of your race, you're a person that's inherently less intelligent, if you are Jewish or if you're Islamic, we will make insulting comments about your race. Well, if I was in one of those communities, I'd feel pretty angry about the abuse and the insults that I was getting, and I might. Oh,
I see. So you worry? Oh, okay. All right. So you worry that there might be some violence from those who are being criticised. Is that it? You don't trust people to behave themselves because they're upset at the views that they don't like. So you think they might get violent?
No, the assessment of Regional Facilities Auckland is that the extremism of their views might result in a reaction from those that they've abused and they've insulted, and they consider that creates a risk. My consideration is purely this. I think their views are obnoxious. I think they're insulting. I think that they will damage community relationships in New Zealand, and I don't particularly want to provide a platform for them to spread that sort of obnoxious message. I have no tolerance for racism. These people express racist views.
No, it's interesting you say that, and I don't think any reasonable-minded person would disagree with you. So what you're actually saying is the free speech views that are controversial here outweighed the views versus of violence, because what you're saying is it's views versus violence, and you've chosen to can both.
No,
because you're worried about violence.
No, I'm saying that's the reason why Regional Facilities Auckland have made their decision. I'm saying something slightly different. I'm saying they may have freedom of speech to express viewpoints that you and I would regard as obnoxious. Maybe that's their right to express those viewpoints, although I'm not so sure. But I have no obligation to provide them with a platform from which to express those views.